So today, I'm sharing 31 fun things you can do with your original character. Whether you want to improve your art, make something creative, or just have fun. Let's start! 1. Draw your OC as a baby. Imagine what your OC looked like before they became the character you know today. Did they always have the same hairstyle? Were they shy, energetic, or constantly getting into trouble? Drawing your OC as a baby is a great way to explore their backstory while practicing softer facial features and different body proportions. Even if your character is a robot or a fantasy creature, you can still imagine what their younger version looked like. 2. Swap your OC's gender. This challenge is more than just changing long hair into short hair. Think about how your character's clothing, hairstyle, facial structure, or even personality might change while still keeping them recognizable. The fun part is trying to preserve their identity. Even after the redesign, people should still be able to look at them and immediately think, yep, that's definitely the same OC. 4. Create an icon. A profile picture is one of the best ways to show off your character. Since icons are so small, you have to focus on making your OC instantly recognizable. Their expression, colors, and silhouette become much more important than tiny details. Try making different versions with happy, angry, sleepy, or surprised expressions. You might even end up with your next profile picture. 5. Design a phone wallpaper. Instead of downloading a random wallpaper, why not make one featuring your own OC? Think about how the clock and app icons will fit on the screen. A clean composition usually works better than filling every inch with details. Once you're done, you actually get something you can use every single day on your phone. 6. Draw your OC in pixel art. Pixel art forces you to simplify everything. You only have a handful of pixels to show your OC's hairstyle, clothes, and expression, which makes this a surprisingly good design exercise. If people can still recognize your character in a tiny 32x32 sprite, you've created a memorable design. 7. Draw your OC in a comic. You don't need to create an entire manga. Even a 4-panel comic can tell a funny story or show your OC's personality. Maybe they burn toast every morning. Maybe they're terrible at texting. Or maybe they accidentally embarrass themselves. Comics are one of the best ways to make your character feel alive, because they show actions instead of just appearances. 8. Animate your OC. Animation sounds difficult, but it doesn't have to be. Start with something simple like blinking, waving, smiling, or nodding. Even a 2-second animation adds so much personality to your character. If you've never animated before, this is a great excuse to learn a completely new skill. 9. Make a coloring page. Turn your line art into a printable coloring page. Keep the lines clean, avoid complicated shading, and leave plenty of open spaces to color. You can color it yourself later, let your friends color it, or even share it with your audience to see. Everyone's different. Interpretations of your character. 10. Design a book cover. Imagine your OC is the main character of a best-selling novel. What genre would it be? Fantasy? Horror? Romance? Mystery? Create a dramatic cover with a title, interesting composition, and lighting that matches the story. Even if the book doesn't exist, designing the cover makes your character feel like they're part of a much bigger world. 11. Turn your OC into stickers. Stickers are one of the easiest ways to bring your OC into the real world. Instead of making one big illustration, think of small expressions or poses. Maybe your OC is laughing, crying, giving a thumbs up, or holding a tiny heart. A whole sticker sheet with different emotions is much more fun than a single design. They're perfect for decorating notebooks, laptops, or even your sketchbook. 12. Make a keychain. Imagine carrying your OC everywhere you go. Design your character with a simple silhouette so they'll still look good at a small size. You can make a double-sided design with different expressions on each side. Or add small accessories like stars, flowers, or charms that match your OC's personality. 13. Design a tote bag. A tote bag gives you a much larger canvas than a keychain. Instead of placing your OC in the center, think about creating a balanced composition with decorative elements around them. Add flowers, sparkles, patterns, or even a favorite quote your character would say. The goal is to create something people would actually want to carry every day. 14. Paint your OC on a t-shirt. What if your favorite shirt featured your own character instead of someone else's? You could paint a large portrait across the front, create a tiny chest logo, or even make a minimal design using only your OC's signature symbol. It doesn't have to be complicated to look amazing. 15. Paint your OC on a mug. Imagine drinking your morning coffee while your OC stares back at you. For mugs, simple designs usually work best. A cute face, a funny expression, or a repeating pattern around. The mug can be much more effective than a complicated illustration. It's a small project that feels surprisingly rewarding. 16. Paint your OC on a rock. This one might sound unusual, but painted rocks have become really popular. Choose a smooth stone and simplify your character into bold shapes and colors. Some artists even hide painted rocks in parks for strangers to find. Imagine someone discovering your OC during a walk. It would be such a fun surprise. 17. Embroider your OC. Embroidery forces you to think differently than drawing. Because you're working with thread instead of a pencil, you need to simplify details into clean lines and shapes. Even if you've never embroidered before, starting with your OC's face or symbol is a great beginner project that results in a unique handmade piece. 18. Make a bracelet inspired by your OC. Instead of drawing your character directly, represent them through colors and symbols. Choose beads that match their color palette or add charms that remind you of their personality. Someone who knows your OC might instantly recognize the bracelet, while everyone else simply sees a beautiful accessory. 19. Sculpt your OC out of salt dough. Not every version of your OC has to be two-dimensional. Salt dough is inexpensive, beginner-friendly, and perfect for experimenting with sculpture. Try making a tiny figurine, your OC's face, or even one of their accessories. Once it dries, you can paint it and display it on your desk. 20. Make a doll of your OC. This is definitely one of the biggest projects on the list, but it's also one of the most rewarding. Whether you sew a plush doll, customize an existing doll, or use another crafting method, seeing your OC become something you can actually hold feels completely different from looking at them on a screen. It's like your character has finally stepped into the real world. 21. Write an AU. An AU, or alternate universe, lets you imagine your OC in a completely different world. Maybe your fantasy character suddenly has to survive high school, or your modern OC wakes up in a medieval kingdom. The fun part isn't just changing the setting, it's seeing how your OC's personality stays the same, or changes in a completely different environment. Sometimes you'll end up loving the AU version just as much as the original. 22. Use a headcanon generator. If you're out of ideas, let the internet decide. There are lots of headcanon generators online that create random prompts like, "Your OC can't cook," "Your OC secretly loves karaoke," or "Your OC always steals blankets." Some prompts will be ridiculous, but that's what makes this so fun. Pick your favorites and turn them into drawings or short comics. 23. Design a wallet. Imagine your OC had their own wallet. What color would it be? Would it be elegant, messy, covered in stickers, or completely empty? You can even draw what might be inside: cards, photos, little notes, or lucky charms. It's a small design challenge that says a lot about your character's personality. 24. Design a bookmark. Bookmarks are simple, but they're also a fun way to make OC merchandise. Since they're long and narrow, think about how your character fits into that shape. Maybe they're sitting on a stack of books, climbing up the bookmark, or peeking over the top. If you print it, you'll have something useful every time you read. 25. Make a calendar page. Pick your favorite month and design a calendar around your OC. For example, your OC could be enjoying the snow in December, relaxing on the beach in July, or surrounded by autumn leaves in October. It's a fun way to practice backgrounds while matching the mood of each season. 26. Create a playing card. Turn your OC into the star of their own card deck. Maybe they're the Queen of Hearts, the King of Spades, or even a Joker card with a unique design. Playing cards have very specific layouts, so this is a great exercise in balancing art with graphic design. 27. Design a YouTube banner. What if your OC had their own YouTube channel? Think about what kind of content they'd make. Then design a banner that matches their personality. Maybe they're a gamer, an artist, a scientist, or an adventurer. This challenge also helps you practice designing wide compositions instead of square illustrations. 28. Draw your OC outside with chalk. Take your sketchbook outside, or skip the sketchbook completely. Grab some sidewalk chalk and draw your OC on a driveway, sidewalk, or any place where it's allowed. Working on the ground is completely different from drawing on paper, and watching people stop to admire your art makes it even more rewarding. 29. Bake cookies inspired by your OC. This challenge has nothing to do with drawing, and that's exactly why it's fun. Decorate cookies using your OC's colors, symbols, or even their face. If they wear stars, add star-shaped icing. If their favorite color is blue, make blue frosting. You don't have to be a professional baker. The fun is seeing if people can recognize your OC just from the design. 30. Make a Pinterest mood board. Search Pinterest for outfits, colors, landscapes, hairstyles, rooms, or objects that remind you of your OC. Soon you'll have a board full of inspiration that perfectly matches their personality and aesthetic. Mood boards are incredibly useful whenever you're redesigning a character or looking for fresh ideas. 31. Submit your OC to a Drawing My Subscribers OCs video. Lots of artists make videos where they draw characters submitted by their audience. Send in your OC, and if you're lucky, you'll get to see another artist interpret your design in their own style. Even if they don't choose your character, it's still a fun way to become part of the art community. And who knows, you might even discover new artists to follow along the way. And that's 31 things you can do with your OC. Hopefully, the next time you open your drawing app and think, I have nothing to draw, you'll come back to this list and find something that sparks your creativity. Now I want to know, which idea are you trying first? Let me know in the comments, and if you have an idea that wasn't on this list, share it. You might inspire someone else's next drawing. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!